All right, so I'm assuming you clicked on this video because you are searching for some delicious Thanksgiving sides to add to your table this holiday season, and I'm so happy to share those with you. So let's go ahead and jump right into this video. We are going to be making sweet potato casserole. All right, so for the sweet potato casserole recipe, you are going to need 4 to 5 large sweet potatoes. You're gonna need some all-purpose flour, sugar, you're gonna need evaporated milk. That's why I got confused on the last recipe. You're gonna need some light brown sugar, some vanilla extract, 3 large eggs, butter, 1/4 a cup. You're also gonna need some pecans for the topping, and the butter will be melted. So let's get started. All right, so go ahead and take your sweet potatoes. You'll probably need a little bit of a bigger pot than normal and put them in there. Okay, so you're gonna add your water to the pot. We did end up cutting off the ends, but you're gonna add your water to the pot. You're not gonna cover them completely. You're gonna have a little bit still out of the water. You are going to boil these probably anywhere from like 25 to 40 minutes, just depending on how big your sweet potatoes are. And once they come to a boil, you want to turn it down to medium and just let them simmer the rest of the time. And I do want to add, just simmer them until they're about fork tender because you don't want them to be mushy. All right, so once you've got all of your sweet potatoes peeled, you're going to place them in a large mixing bowl. Now we're going to go ahead and add our 3 eggs. Now I'm going to go ahead and add 1/2 cup of evaporated milk. Yum. Then we're going to go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, now you're going to add 1/2 cup of sugar. Ooh. And then you're going to add about 1/2 teaspoon of salt, but I'm just going to wing it and hope for the best. You see my sprinkling? Okay, we're good. And then next to your mixture, you're gonna add 1/4 cup of butter melted. Okay, so now it is time to mash them. I'm gonna start and use my meat masher. Normally you would use a potato masher, but I can't find mine. And then most of the time you're gonna want to take like a hand mixer for 45 seconds and mash it the rest of the way. That way it gets nice and like creamy or whatever texture you like it. All right, so while Alex is mashing the sweet potatoes, I'm gonna go ahead and spray some non-stick cooking spray to our pan. Alex said I didn't do it right, so he's doing it for me. Which I didn't. I really didn't. I was getting it all over the place, so he's fixing us up. All right, we got it mashed up like this, so we're gonna use the mixer for about 45 seconds to smooth it out. All right, go ahead and spread out your mixture once you get it in your pan. You could use a 9x13 or a round pan. It really doesn't matter, but I'm about to show you how we're going to make the topping. Look how good and creamy that looks. All right, so now it's time for us to make the topping. We are going to add in the pecans or pecans, whatever you like to say. We are also going to add in 1 cup of brown sugar, and that is 1 cup of chopped pecans. I actually say pecans, I don't know why I'm saying pecans. So 1 cup of brown sugar also, and then we're gonna add in 1/4 a cup of all-purpose flour. Okay, so then you're gonna add 1/4 cup of butter, which is 1/2 stick. So you're just gonna actually take a fork and just kind of like chop all of this together, and then you're going to sprinkle it on top of your sweet potato casserole. This is pretty much what it's gonna look like. You're still gonna have those butter chunks in there, but it will melt obviously when it's cooking. This looks like it's going to be delicious. All right, and there you have it, a sweet potato casserole. How delicious does that look. I would say pretty delicious.
Before we get to the next side, I wanted to let you know that if you want to see any more Thanksgiving side dishes, there is a link down below to a playlist of tons of different YouTubers who are collaborating and putting together Thanksgiving side dishes I know you will love, so make sure after you get done watching this video, you check those out.
All right, this next recipe is my favorite recipe of them all, my favorite Thanksgiving recipe ever. You guys can probably, well, I don't know, it's changed over the years, but used to be my favorite Thanksgiving side dish ever, and it's macaroni and cheese. But this is not just any mac and cheese, this is Gang Gan's mac and cheese. And I'm telling you, me and Alex called her so many times today trying to get this recipe, and we've made it plenty of times, but every time we forget. So I was like, please don't call Gang Gan back, we're bothering her. And she's like, you'll never bother me. She's so sweet. But this is Alex's grandmother's macaroni and cheese recipe that she makes like Christmas, Thanksgiving, whenever she has a get together, and it is so absolutely delicious. So you guys have to try it, and let's go ahead and get started on making it. All right, so for Gang Gan's baked mac and cheese, she told us we need 3 cans of evaporated milk. She uses the Carnation brand, but you can use off-brand if you want. You're gonna need about a half a stick of butter, Sharp Cheddar Cheese. I don't know if we'll use this whole thing. A lot of times she said she plays it by ear, and I can understand that on mac and cheese. She also uses flour and elbow noodles. You guys have probably seen mac and cheese recipes that are very, very similar to this. I love using evaporated milk in mine as well. But there's just something about Gang Gan's recipe that just beats them all. Maybe it's just when she makes it. All right, of course, the first thing we have to do is boil the noodles. So I've got the water boiling. Voila. And while the water is boiling, we're gonna go ahead and turn the oven to 350. All right, Alex is gonna go ahead and shred the cheese for us while I'm starting on the other mixture, which is gonna be the flour and the evaporated milk. But I will say, we might need more cheese than this, because like Gang Gan said, Grandpa Leroy liked it extra, extra cheesy. So we're gonna make it extra, extra cheesy. All right, so the first thing you wanna do is add your 1/4 cup of butter or half a stick of butter to your pan. And then we're gonna let that melt, and then we're gonna stir in our flour. Well, I'll probably whisk in the flour. All right, next up, the butter's not all the way melted yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and add about 1/3 cup of flour and mix it in. Gang Gan is always making for a lot of people, of course. So we had to half her recipe. So basically, we're just gonna make it work for us and Alex's parents, because Alex's parents are like our neighbors. So we, of course, are gonna share the mac and cheese with them. All right, so now that we have our flour and butter mixture, I'm gonna add our 3 cans of evaporated milk. And Gang Gan told us on the phone, don't let it get clumpy. Sorry, Gang Gan. I'm trying not to let it get clumpy. So I'm just gonna add 1 can first, and then I'm gonna add the rest, or the other 2, and then we're gonna add in the cheese. Okay, so right now in here, Alex is whisking it up. We have about 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour. We also have in here our butter, which is a half a stick, and then 3 cans of the Carnation evaporated milk. And I really do feel like evaporated milk is the key to a rich and velvety mac and cheese. So now we are going to come in and add the cheese. Alex just shredded it all up, so it's freshly shredded cheese, which makes me so excited. That's my favorite. All right, so now we are going to stir our mixture together, and this is going to be your cheese sauce. It looks like we are probably gonna have to add some more cheese, but I'm totally fine with that. Like I said, we have to make it extra cheesy. So we're gonna let this melt in here and add some extra cheese in just a second. All right, we're gonna pour in some more cheese. Now we had to use finely shredded that we already had on hand because that's all we had. So basically you are going to let this kind of cook on your stove and warm. I've got it on about medium high right now, but you're gonna do this and stir it until it thickens up. Gang, check out this cheese sauce. Can you just see how thick and creamy it is? So yummy. And Alex says hello and we love you. So go ahead and pour your noodles into about whatever size pan you want. This is, I think, a 9 by 13. So we are making this in a pan that we can just throw away because we're sharing it with the fam. So look at all those yummy noodles. And now y'all know what time it is. Time for the cheese sauce. Oh my goodness, look how good that looks. Yes. Okay, so now we are going to mix all of the noodles in with the cheese. Okay, so it looks nice and cheesy. You don't have to add any more cheese to the top. We're gonna pop it in the oven on 350 until we think it is done. Now, this is all personal preference, so if you like yours to turn a little bit brown, you can leave it in there until then. If you don't like yours brown and you just kind of want it bubbly on top, you can pull it out then. So I'll let you know how long it took for our mac and cheese and how we liked it, and I'll show you the finished product, of course. So we're gonna pop it in the oven now. Okay, so we just pulled it out of the oven. We like it to be a little bit brown on the edges, like so, and we cannot wait to dig in. Let me show you what it looks like. Oh my goodness, do y'all see that bite? Who is gonna have the first bite? Is it gonna be me or is it gonna be Alex? Probably Alex, but oh my goodness. I cannot wait until you guys try this.